on the Friday edition, Mr. Irrelevant, episode 306. Alex Strouf, Josh DiMaggio, Will Sommers with you from the Gerbil offices. One call, that's all studio. At the Avenue, downtown Milwaukee, Hunter Vaughn on assignment today. We're actually not going to talk about the Packers today. I'm going to ban Packers talk from our show today. And look, I know how we operate. We're going to make it, 20 minutes before we start referencing the Packers again? But I really want to hone in on the Brewers now that the wild card round of the MLB playoffs is in the books. And we're all decked out in our Brewers gear. I've got my October baseball shirt on. You've got your Barrelman Deadhead shirt on, your old vintage Brewers hat. Our studio was decked out by our marketing team yesterday. So we've got Brewers streams. We've got Bango the Buck covered in Brewers gear, holding a Fall of Frelick sign. You'll never guess who picked that sign for him to hold. We've just got Brewers stuff everywhere. And I'm not decked out quite to the level that Gabe Neitzel was this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. He was wearing literal eye black at 7 in the morning, which was awesome. I got
roped into those as well.
You were wearing eye black?
Uh-huh. And if you look at Will's mic back there,
I do see a sweatband on the mic.
I adorned it with a sweatband. I figured that was a better place for the logo placement than my actual wrist.
I would agree with you. Yeah, I think that's a better idea. So we've got Brewers fever here in downtown Milwaukee, and I know everybody else does, especially now knowing who the opponent is. And it's something I've been begging for weeks, if not months at this point. This is the matchup I wanted. It's the matchup I've hoped for, and it's a matchup that doesn't scare me. As the Milwaukee Brewers and the Chicago Cubs, the rivals, will go toe-to-toe in the National League Divisional Series beginning tomorrow. 1:08 p.m. is the first pitch at American Family Field, as the Brewers take on their former manager and player, Craig Counsell, and the Cubs after their series win over the San Diego Padres. And look, it's fun. This is the playoffs. But as Brewers fans, I know we kind of all sit here a day ahead of time, a day ahead of the opening series going, well, it's been 7 years since we've won a playoff series. Brewers haven't won a playoff series since 2018, despite being in the playoffs every year since then except one. And this is a team that constantly is in the discussion. This is a team that is constantly at the top of the National League Central, but they just haven't been able to get over the hump. But this year, we've said it all year, it feels just a little bit different. This is a 97-win team, the winningest team in Brewers history. This is a team that, no matter what adversity has been thrown their way, be it a 0-4 start or a shredded starting rotation or a shredded bullpen or positional players being injured, and you go, I don't really know who's going to play first base. All of a sudden, they find ways to win, and they find ways to replace those guys. And they have just scrapped and clawed their way to where we are right now, and that is the best team in baseball finally gets going tomorrow at AmFam Field against the rival team. And this is the matchup I wanted, because I want nothing more than to once again say to Craig Counsell, hey, man, you made the wrong choice. Sure, financially, maybe you made the right choice. You're making a heck of a lot of more money in Chicago. But the better baseball team plays about 90 miles north of Chicago, and that is the Milwaukee Brewers. And a rivalry feel in the postseason is fun. I mean, think back to, I already said we're going to ban Packers talk. I got to do it real quick, though. Think back to 2010. It was Bears-Packers in the NFC Championship game. That was fun. Not only did you punch your ticket to the Super Bowl, you also got to beat the Bears down in the process. And now the Brewers, who have had the best record for the last month plus, who look like one of the favorites to go to and win the World Series, have the opportunity to beat down their rival, their little brother, on their way there. And that is really exciting to me, and I'm really looking forward to the series beginning tomorrow. JOSHY DiMaggio, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Alex Strouf.
Thank you. How you feeling?
Typically, on a radio program, you don't just throw it plainly and ask someone how they are.
I didn't ask you how you were. I just said good afternoon. You hadn't really said anything yet, so I was kind of saying, all right, go ahead. This is your time to cook, because I got my opening rant out.
You got your rant out. I'm hopeful. I'm excited. I'm not going to let doubt creep in too much, but I do understand fully that as good as it would feel to take the Chicago Cubs and Craig Counsell out and kick them out of the playoffs, it would hurt far more to lose to Craig Counsell and the Chicago Cubs in the NLDS.
But hold on, that's a privilege, Joshy. Pain is a privilege when it comes to being a sports fan. It's something we've talked about before.
It's different, because being the best team in baseball via record and then losing to the guy who left you for greener pastures and then taking you out of the playoffs when the hope is the highest it's ever been.
Yeah, no doubt.
Since this era of the golden era of Brewers baseball started, it would hurt infinitely more. It would be disappointing to lose to the Padres in the DL and the DS. It would be devastating, earth-shattering. This is the worst sports loss I can remember in a long time.
So here's the thing. Our dorky pal, Jesse Nelson, who is the producer of Wilde and Tausch.
You're not going to quote him, are you?
I'm gonna read his tweet to you.
Oh, jeez.
And when I initially saw it, I just thought, wow, what a dork.
I'm going to cut you off here before. Just know that whatever follows is going to resonate with me zero.
Okay. However, what you just said might actually be accurate. I think he said something along the lines of...
Also, you want to hear a funny Jesse thing I discovered during the show?
Yeah, go ahead.
Earlier today, Wilde and Tausch, 9 to noon, across ESPN, Wisconsin. He originally had taken off on Monday in anticipation of a Brewers game happening. There wasn't one, but despite not having anything to do on Monday, he's still taking the day off because of his friends in town.
It's on brand. I worked with him for 3.5 years in Madison. I know how that goes, yeah.
Imagine looking someone in the face and be like, yeah, I could come to work. I'm not going to, though.
You get paid time off for a reason, I guess. Take it however you wish.
Just like, don't you want to be on the air on Monday after...
Yeah.
Cubs Brewers? Is that not what, like, I'm dying to talk about the Packers after a game. I'm going to be dying to talk about the Brewers on Monday.
Yeah, look, I mean, like, I had this happen to us on Monday, right? I had Bucks Media Day. I had other prior obligations after a tie. You know how much it killed me to not talk about it right away?
The difference between your prior obligations were
I had work.
They happened, yeah. If your obligations were canceled.
He took the day off because he thought the game would be during the day.
I think so.
And it's a night game. They do play Monday, but they play Monday night.
Yes, correct.
So he's probably just going to tailgate all day, would be my guess.
That doesn't.
But also, his show ends at noon. Game doesn't start for 8 hours. All right.
His buddy can't figure out what to do for 4 hours.
So Jesse tweeted last night, "Oh, baby, Brewers, Cubs, one way or another, our lives will never be the same." And I read that initially last night. I went, this guy, A, is a dork, and B, that's a little dramatic. Here's the thing, though. He might be onto something. Because you're right. Either it's going to be one of the most satisfying series wins, and in fact, in my lifetime, maybe the most satisfying series win in a postseason for the Brewers.
The only thing I can think of is advancing to the CS.
Which they would do. So it'd be more satisfying.
Right.
By beating the Cubs. So it could be the most satisfying Brewers
I don't know, 2011.
Series.
Winning was so
awesome.
huge.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Because it felt like it was never...
I think it's the first time in my life I saw it.
Yes. Yeah. For my entirety of my life to that point, the fact of the Brewers being in the playoffs was a foreign concept, and then advancing in the playoffs was even more foreign.
Yes. And look... It would be disappointing one way or another if the Brewers don't get out of the DS, given everything we saw this year, everything that they accomplished this year. If they didn't get out of the DS, no matter the opponent, it would be disappointing.
Yes.
But now that it's the Cubs, and now that it's Craig Counsell, oh, look who's outside. I can't wait for this. Will just left the room.
Yeah.
So Will doesn't know how to do life.
Correct.
We've discovered that more and more this week.
I was getting mad at my phone yesterday. I was mad at it because Will was on the other end.
So let's just talk about this before he gets back. Will's mom is coming in today. Uh-huh. I have given her the heads up. I am putting her on the air.
Yes.
And we are going to interview Will's mom.
Yes.
Which we will do after we get through all of our Brewers talk and before we get to our NFL picks. Because it is truly breathtaking how little he knows.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that later. Back to the Brewers, though. This has the opportunity to be one of the most satisfying victories you'll ever see in terms of your Brewers fandom.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if you were around in 82, you saw more success than Josh and I have in our lives. But it also has the opportunity to be as devastating as a World Series loss in the divisional round.
I don't want to make a blanket statement and say it's akin to 2014. Here we go, referencing the Packers. But I'm just thinking of most devastating losses. Obviously, last year, Brewers being knocked out was about as deflated as I've ever been as a sports fan. I think 2014 also rivals that. I do think the series would have to have something special happen, extraordinary circumstances, because those elevate themselves even above like we should have won that series. Like if it's 2-2 and the Cubs just win a game. You'll hate it. It'll suck. You'll hate hearing about it. You'll hate seeing it online, but you'll be able to get past it, I think, eventually.
So I want to ask you kind of to do a scale for me, all right? If 100% is the full scale, how much of that is excitement and how much of that is nervousness? Because I see those two words popping up a lot on YouTube, ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison on YouTube. I want to get to some of your comments. So I'm going to ask Josh, and then I want to hear from some of you. Where are you at, like excitement level and nervousness level when it comes to this Cubs-Brewers series starting tomorrow?
Knowing myself and how I operate, it's 30% nervousness, 70% excitement.
And I think that's fair.
Because I try to maintain a level of levity in these situations and understand this is an incredible thing. We've watched an incredible season. We've had a blast covering, watching, just being in and around the Brewers all season. It's a special season that certainly, even regardless of the results, is going to be memorable, I think, to many of us throughout the rest of our lives. But there is, and I think if you're ignoring this, you're sort of just blocking it out and pretending it's not there. The recent history of the Brewers and unfortunate early exits, even though this is around later, is still something that is in every Brewers fan's mind.
Like I said, they haven't won a series since 2018. Right. I mean, that's 7 years ago.
Right.
Will was like in diapers.
They've been
7
in the
years
playoffs
ago.
in 6 of those?
Probably.
7 years ago? I was 15. I was without a driver's license.
Based on
what I know about you and what I've learned about you in the last 3 days, you may have been in diapers at 15.
Diapers were in play.
I was potty trained by then.
Barely?
Progressively.
All right, let's get to some comments. Chef Ed chimes in. I'm excited, a little nervous, so I imagine it's probably about the 70-30 you're at.
Well, right. There's been years in the past where I've thought the Brewers stand no chance, like going into whatever series they were, just because you could tell, hey, they're probably not the right squad. I believe in earlier today, Craig Counsell read off the lineup for the 2021 series.
Yes.
That one I wasn't really devastated about because I understood what was happening.
There was no expectations, right? I mean, there's a level, there's levels to these things when you get into the postseason, and with this Brewers team, despite early on maybe us having no expectations for what the season could be,
2021 were so low that I can hardly recall what happened in that series.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
I didn't make a mental note.
I assume they played like the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks. I couldn't tell you though. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Was Keon Broxton on the team? Probably.
So insignificant. Jed Yerkel.
Oh, good Lord.
Clean up.
Yeah.
The more I've been watching the MLB playoffs thus far, though, the more excited I get because I don't know how much you guys have watched, but they are all super low scoring.
Oh, hold on a minute. What's that supposed to mean?
I was just testing your guys' ball watching. You guys watching ball?
Yes, I'm watching ball.
Yeah, well, all the games have been very ugly, low scoring, bunt the guy over games, and
which makes me feel good about it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. My confidence has been growing because that's where the Brewers thrive.
Yes. Yeah, I thought that would be the case. I do think we all remember the big home runs and the big moments, and I think there are times where power can win out and be the difference maker. But it just seems like the way with the rules changes have gone, that solid defense, athleticism, and not making errors and advancing players this way all matter so much more, and it matters more now than it did even in the regular season.
Besides the Dodgers, who've been facing a rather lowly Reds team who did make those mistakes that you referenced, there hasn't been a lot of scoring.
Yeah, the Reds shouldn't be here.
Dodgers have 3 errors.
Shouldn't have been here.
Yeah.
No, but blame the Mets.
Yeah.
The Mets did the Mets. So, Freddie will go. We don't know who will go for the Cubs yet. Undecided as of now.
Not really worried about really anyone they try.
Their pitching isn't all that great. I mean, they do have the bats, right?
Yes.
And that's where this series will ultimately be made, is can the Brewers pitching, which I think we still have fair confidence in, despite likely... Oh, actually, real quick timeout. Can we talk about this whole Brandon Woodruff thing?
What about it?
So today is what? Today is Friday, meaning Wednesday or Tuesday it was. I think it was Tuesday. Pat Murphy said by the end of Tuesday night there would be an announcement on Brandon Woodruff.
I missed that.
He said by the end of the day we'll have an announcement on Brandon Woodruff. There's been nothing since.
An announcement that early feels like a negative, so maybe the fact that...
Well, he said we'll have a ruling on him maybe, or I don't know if announcement was the exact verbiage, but Yeah, it was Wednesday or Tuesday. Murphy said, I'm trying to find the exact, so he said, this tweet says, Pat Murphy tells us there will be an update on Brandon Woodruff by the end of the day. That was on September 30th. Update. Today is October 3rd. We've got nothing.
Okay, that makes me think it's not that great.
No, I assume it's not good.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, when he said devastated in the immediate aftermath, I pretty much put away the hopes of having him for the postseason.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. Yeah. I have no anticipation of seeing him.
Right.
But my point is, anyway, I just think that's weird. But even without him, I still feel good about what this team's pitching staff has. Right? I feel good about, obviously, Priester, who's been awesome for them. I feel great about Freddy pitching tomorrow. If we see Jose Quintana, which it sounds like we probably will, I feel good about him in a game 3. He doesn't need to go 6 innings. Mm-hmm. You feel great about this bullpen. You get McGill back. Everything there is good. Slow down the Cubs. Keep it low scoring. You're going to win. That's how I feel about it. So to go back to my initial question, I'm at like 90% excitement, 10% nervousness. I know who the better team here is, which is probably only going to lead to more heartbreak.
Yeah, but we got to run it through the Strouf filter. So a 90 for you is like a 70 for everyone else.
Mm-hmm. Accurate.
Yeah. That might not even be.
Might actually be 60.
Yeah, it might be 60. Yeah.
I was being generous.
20 to 30% difference.
Yeah, at least. Yeah. At least.
Because as we know by the time game starts, it'll be 100% excitement. And you'll have convinced yourself that there isn't a conceivable path to the Cubs beating the Brewers in a 5-game series.
Yeah. Look, I'm a roller coaster of a sports fan. We've had this discussion a million times. They haven't played for a week, so I feel great.
Does it at all frustrate you? I know you better than you.
No. You need people to hold you accountable in life. You are like one of 10 people who know me better than me. I'm not that hard to figure out. I'm only hard to figure out for myself.
Yeah, seemingly, yes. That's a great quote. You put it perfectly. You're an enigma to only one person, and that's yourself.
It's the one I see in the mirror. Yeah, absolutely. So look, Dr. Denver Dan, and maybe it's Colorado playing in here, but he says nervous, anxious. Actually, no Colorado if he's nervous and anxious. That's not what you get in Colorado.
That's what they prescribed that stuff for.
Nervous, anxious, worried, and confident are all the same emotions during the playoffs. I went to a watering hole to watch the wild card, and every fan was going through it. So I was at a bar last night. Shocker. Happy Thursday. Got some wings, was watching games. And ultimately, it was really just the Red Sox and Yankees game. And there was a Red Sox fan in the bar. And boy, oh boy, was he having a rough night. And it happened to be the same bar that I was in for the Game 3 loss to the Mets last year. And he was sitting in like the same spot I was. And I looked at him and I saw myself. It was strange. We were drinking different things.
Looking in the mirror?
Yeah, a little bit, minus the color difference. I was wearing blue, he was wearing red. But I'm like, yeah, I'm not ready for that yet, man. I'm not ready to feel like that again, because the way this year has gone, to go back to my point on me being a roller coaster sports fan, is I was down early, but I mean, it was so early in the season. We had 158 games left, but they were 0-4. And I went, oh, okay, this might be a long year. And then all of a sudden we get to May, and especially in June and leading up to the All-Star break, I'm going, yeah, this team's really good, I think. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden we get out of the All-Star break. And they're whipping up on the Phillies, and they're whipping up on the Dodgers. And you go, holy crap, this team might be the best team in baseball. And then eventually they get to the best record in baseball. And then they continue to extend their lead on the Cubs, and voila, you're the 1 seed in the MLB. You're in the NL.
If the Brewers are able to accomplish the ultimate goal here and win a World Series, I think probably even make the World Series and lose, this is like what they're going to make. There's going to be a movie about it. You got the Bob Uecker aspect, the long, sordid history since 1982 of Milwaukee baseball fans. You've got just all these things, the ultimate underdog story, and just imagine the little vignettes they would do on guys like Isaac Collins and Quinn Priester.
Your twin, Will.
Durbin,
yeah, your
Caleb
twin.
Durbin.
One in the same.
All these guys that were sort of written off coming together. Pat Murphy was the replacement for the guy who left for a bigger market.
And what do they always say? You never want to be the guy after the guy?
Yes.
And Pat Murphy was the guy after the guy,
Correct.
and he's actually become the guy?
Maybe Craig Counsell was the guy before the guy.
Stop big braining it back there.
you ever think about that?
I can see steam coming out of your ears. Cool it.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Just saying. Just chiming in with it. All right, I want to do this because, look, I thought we were going to miss him. We don't miss him. That would, of course, be Craig Counsell.
Okay.
So
I was trying to figure out.
Right after the Game 3 win, Craig Counsell on the Marquee Sports Network, or audio courtesy of the Marquee Sports Network, was asked, "Hey man, you know what the matchup is now? How we feeling?" Here was Craig Counsell's response yesterday after the win over the Padres.
I mean, they've
Well, that was the root of my joke, but we'll jump right to the punchline.
Well, they're going to be fired up. I mean, they've had the best team in baseball this year. They feel like they have a chance to play in the World Series with this team, so they're rested. So it's going to be a great atmosphere. It's Cubs Brewers. That's going to be as good as it gets. It's always a great atmosphere when the two teams play each other.
He sounds a teeny bit scared to me. So, Will, actually, let's go back to the first piece of audio, because the guy's been a manager in Major League Baseball for a decade, and he still...
You speak twice a day as the manager to the media, at least.
Right, and he still struggles. So this is all from a 25-second period. Listen to Craig Counsell again and all the stutters.
I mean,
Well, I know what that is. He's never been a good quote, one. But two, he can't go too positive because of the fans of the team he's managing.
So is he overthinking everything he says?
Yes, and then he can't go too negative because he knows we're going to pick it up.
Play it again.
I mean,
Was he not expecting to get that question, though?
Sounds like an injured cat.
Right, it was a pretty simple question.
Yeah.
Like, how you doing, man?
Obviously, it's going to get asked after you advance to the NLDS.
Right. I'm good. I'm excited to play the Milwaukee Brewers. It's always good when those two teams get together. The atmosphere will be great. I hope we can get some Cubs fans out. It's not that hard.
Don't you just say it's going to be one of the better series we see all postseason? The Brewers had an incredible season, and we think we're a good enough team to go there and beat them.
Yes.
You should be his PR guy.
But instead we get this. We get this jumbled nonsense.
Sounds
like a cat.
Yeah.
So that's like, if you put it into math, like how many times he talks to the media, it's over 320 a year at least, right?
At least.
At least.
And we still get this after the biggest win of the season.
I mean,
by the way, the other part of this is we listened to the full thing. He sounds a little bit scared of the Brewers.
Yes, and a little exasperated.
His voice is shaking a little bit.
Like, you just won. I imagine he hadn't popped the bottle of champagne yet.
No.
And he sounds like he's shaking in his boots a little bit, which makes me excited because he later spoke about this a couple times, how he's hopeful they can get some Cubs fans up in Milwaukee. Look, number one, if you are a Brewers fan and you have tickets to tomorrow's game, do not resell them. And if you do, sell them to somebody you know. Because I do not want to hear the Wrigley North BS we always hear when the Cubs come to town.
Wilde and Tausch put up a number. Where do you think your number is? Let's play a game here.
So hold on. So you get the tickets, let's just say for $100 a pop. Let's just do that for easy math. So you have a pair of tickets, $200. Oh, I bet they're going for, you add a zero to that, right? I would guess.
Yes. And I think at $2,000, I'm having a really tough internal conversation.
Yeah, I mean, you're making $1,800 on your initial purchase, and I guess I get it's the DS.
Right.
It's not the CS. It ain't the World Series.
I did see, and I do, because I've given the Packers a hard time for the way they do tickets and the whole selling to fans of another team. I did see that if you purchased your tickets with pre-sale from the Brewers and though they get resold, that you then lose your privilege to pre-sale, which I think is totally fine. Totally fair.
I have no issue with that.
Yeah, that's totally fair to me because, we want Brewers fans here. So if you are taking advantage of this situation in the playoffs, and pre-sale is a privilege, most certainly, of fans who, they did pay to get there, but hey, we want you there. You're taking up space only to make money on us. I think that's all is fair there to me.
Yeah, I agree. It's reminiscent. Here we go again. This is number 3, I believe, for us, breaking my initial rule. But the Packers season ticket thing, if you sell all of them for multiple years in a row, you get them ripped, which is a good rule.
That was exactly what I started that preamble with.
Will, is that true?
Way to pay attention.
Did he call himself on bringing up the Packers?
Yes.
All right, hand up. I got a text. I got a little distracted. I do not have the uncanny ability to multitask, which I'm learning most men don't. Most men cannot multitask.
The idea of truly multitasking is a farce. There are ways to be efficient and to be able to piece things together, but you truly cannot do two things at once and give them both your full attention.
No, that's to give them their full attention. I agree.
Right. But
partial attention, you'd think I'd be able to read a text message, but also understand what you're saying.
Very much. And I do it all the time.
And I failed.
Yeah. I mean, I have had hiccups. There was a time we were having technical difficulties, and I was trying to explain a pretty complicated thing. And then Ben asked me a question on Weekly Wager, and I looked back at him like, huh?
Appreciate
kind of like you did right there.
That's good. All right, we will get back to the Brewers and what we missed, what we learned. We will, do a little bit of a deeper dive into that series. We will get to our NFL picks, which we do every week. But we got to talk about Will, because this guy's got a problem. We learned within the last few weeks that Will didn't have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich until he was 20 years old. Mm-hmm. He recently claimed to, and I quote, discover rice.
Now, I knew about rice.
No, but you said multiple times, I discovered rice. Yes, that's what you said.
The value that it brings to a meal.
So, to be honest, when he was bringing his meals that he took great offense to of me calling them struggle meals.
Wasn't offended.
You were offended.
Great offense.
I was getting tired of it.
that
Meaning you were offended, yeah.
Which I think he took as more of a pejorative than I intend. I still eat like that. If I'm left to my own devices and I'm busy,
I don't have an issue with it. I just think you call a spade a spade.
Yes, it's what I'm doing. So I'm doing the bare minimum to get nutrition and make my hunger go away. But I had been telling him in weeks previous, dude, if you make some rice on like a Sunday, a whole batch of it, toss it in with what you're already bringing, you'll be more full.
Boom shakalaka.
It'll be so
you got more
easy.
food.
And then he finally did it, and he was like, I can't believe it. I finally discovered rice. And it was like, well, I've been trying to tell you for weeks.
It only takes a minute, too.
So before we rip him to shreds, I'm going to give him a compliment. Something I love about Will. And I don't know if this is because we have the show and we talk to him at length 3 times a week. I don't know if it's because when he was an intern, we trained him and we coached him up, and now he's full-time. And, we're kind of the two guys he's been with the most. Whenever he has a dumb question, he's willing to ask us.
He is.
And I appreciate that.
He is.
So last night we got a series of text messages, Josh, and I put 3 of them on the YouTube stream. So the top left one I will bring your attention to is the fact after he said he couldn't cook chicken all the way through on the stove.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you and Hunter gave him the idea to bake it.
Yep.
Bake chicken. Pretty simple concept.
It's very simple.
The very first thing he said was, I've never used the oven. He's 22 years old. He was a drunk college kid for how many years? He never made a frozen pizza. What?
I wasn't drunk the entire time.
Okay. Even when you were sober.
I was an athlete.
You never made a frozen pizza, let alone chicken tenders or things you put in the oven normally.
I've helped make a frozen pizza.
What does that mean?
Take it out of the oven?
Okay.
So was this yesterday the first time in your new apartment, which you've been in roughly a month?
I think over that at this point.
Yeah,
2 months?
2 months.
2 months. Was this the first time it had been turned on at all?
By me, yes.
Okay.
But not by your roommate.
No, he's used it.
Much more competent than you.
Yes.
Okay.
Debatable.
So then, let's throw the picture back up, Will, because then you and Josh explained a few things, or exchanged a few things, and Josh said, hey, put it on a baking sheet. And you said, expletive, I don't have a baking sheet. And then Josh followed up with, anything flat and metal. And you sent a photo of a baking sheet and said, can I just put it on there? This is a real exchange.
So
These are real text messages.
What you left out was Josh was referencing saran wrap earlier.
Yes, because if you were going to continue to use the stove, he was saying smack it with a pan in between 2 sheets, flatten it a little bit so it cooks through easier.
When I think of sheet, I thought he was talking about parchment paper. I got my terms mixed up.
If I was meaning parchment paper, I would have said parchment paper.
I didn't know what you meant.
Bleep. I don't have a baking sheet. Anything flat and metal? Can I just put it on there? What did you think that was?
A pan? I think I called it a cookie tray.
You could also
You could bake cookies on it. That's true. You're right about that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I don't know what I did wrong.
You didn't know what a baking sheet was.
Yeah.
When you sent the picture.
All right. So we mentioned it when Will left the room. Will, you have some family here today,
We do.
including your lovely mother, who we will refer to as Mrs. Sommers. Okay? Not going to put all her business on the street. Mrs. Sommers is aware I'm about to ask her questions, and she's going to be interviewed on this program, yes?
She's aware.
Okay. Mrs. Sommers, first off, hello. Great to see you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. It's good to see you. I assume you're hearing all this for the first time, yes?
Yes.
And
Before that, did anything you heard surprise you?
good question.
It embarrasses me a little bit.
It's fair.
Not totally surprised,
Okay.
but
A little
a
embarrassed.
little embarrassed, yeah.
Which I feel like is a fair emotion in reaction to his incompetence. I think is a fair word. No.
It seems a little harsh now that I'm talking to his mom.
Yeah, fair. I agree.
Yeah, I was wondering, I was feeling a little unfortunate that I'm sitting here for this now.
Well, this was by
Something I did.
this was by design, Mrs. Sommers. So you never fed him PB&J growing up?
No, he really just liked peanut butter on whole wheat bread every single day. He was the most content boy.
Huh.
Different. So I just love that about him. Always happy with that.
You're being too nice.
No jelly.
No jelly.
No, that was too much sugar.
And Nutella sandwiches. Big Nutella sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that gives a little more context than I expected. I thought he was just not consuming the idea of peanut butter and jelly at all.
Yeah.
But I feel like I had them like at school. They were like, I was giving them as a snack.
So, yeah, I don't know.
I guess it's different now because peanut butter is like a no-go in most elementary schools. Yeah.
Peanut allergies and such.
Yes.
Sure. So you and Dan the man, obviously Will's father, a huge fan of the show, DTM as we call him around here endearingly. You guys like went on vacation and left the kids at any point? Did that ever happen when Will was, say, in high school? Did you ever put him in charge? Because he has two younger siblings. Was he ever put in charge?
No. No.
That makes a lot
We
of
had
sense.
babysitters for a while.
How old were you the last time you had a babysitter?
What was it, like 15?
Okay.
16 maybe?
Well, if we went out of town for a weekend, yeah, probably
Yeah, go stay with someone else.
a little
probably.
older. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We wouldn't put that responsibility on him.
I guess I'm just confused how he's made it this far in life without using an oven. That's the part where I'm really thrown off.
Air fryer.
Microwave.
Air fryer.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So
Chipotle.
Fair.
and maybe this is more negative parenting than positive parenting.
I don't know where this is going.
I was
I'm
left
nervous.
alone pretty young.
I was too.
Yes. And I was cooking, I think I was baking like pizza rolls or chicken tenders or chicken nuggets at like 10
9 years old? Yeah, okay, me too.
Yeah.
And maybe this is an indication that Will had better parents than us?
Yes.
You can microwave all those things too.
Yes, but they taste so much better coming out of the
Yes,
oven.
100%.
Yeah.
I would rather go for the simplistic manufacturing.
Mrs. Sommers, what was like your famous meal? I feel like every parent has kind of their go-to meal. What was your famous meal when Will was growing up?
Well, I think I make a lot of chili.
Okay.
Okay.
Big
Yeah.
chili family.
Would Will be able to make the chili if you just gave him the directions? Nothing else. You couldn't help at all. Do you think Will could make the chili?
Well, yesterday I probably would have said yes, but today I'm going to say no. Okay. It involves a stove.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
I could use a stove.
You didn't know how to cook chicken.
I knew how to cook it. It just wasn't cooking.
Do you only put this? Okay, now I have more questions for you, Will. When you cook, do you only put the setting on high?
I learned less than 2 weeks ago that you're not supposed to do that.
It's so funny too because when he
This is good. It's part of growing up.
when he grew frustrated with the chicken and it not cooking in the center, I believe my response was something along the lines of, "I know most men, you're probably cooking it way too hot."
Yes.
Which I think you're probably still doing, and that would cause your outside to char and burn.
So
With
we're not going to talk about how I did end up baking the chicken and it turned out good and I ate it last night and it was phenomenal.
Well, you never followed up with that in our defense.
And also, it took directives from me and Hunter and a recipe that Hunter sent along.
Yeah.
Like, and I almost feel bad now, but the first time I baked chicken, I just sort of went for it and then altered and added techniques.
I feel as if we've been stuck on the cooking thing for several weeks. What's next? Like, what are we going to cook next?
Is there anything you've been afraid to cook? Like, do you cook bacon, or could you?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
bacon's easy.
Bacon's easy.
I can
thought
make
chicken was too.
Fair point. Fair point.
I can make breakfast. I'm good at
So
breakfast.
eggs.
Do you do bacon in the microwave?
Yes.
Oh no!
It's easier.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Sommers, for adding. I hadn't even considered the idea of cooking bacon. In
I
the
think you
microwave.
get the pre-made bacon from Costco in the big package.
So we're
thought we were on
talking
the same side here.
microwavable
That's what I
bacon.
do.
I thought we were on the same team here.
That's what I do too. So you learned
Yeah.
that from me.
What? Does it crisp?
Well,
in there?
bacon smells up the house.
Yeah, Josh.
I actually am not a fan of after you make bacon and then like 2 hours later you come back in the house and it still smells. Don't love that.
Are there any other everyday things you don't know how to do? How's your cleaning, Will?
That's probably a question for his mom, who's been to his apartments, right?
That would make sense. Mrs. Sommers, would you like to answer on his behalf?
I don't know if he cleans. As I think through these things, I think it's probably, and his sister is shaking her head, that I did too much for him all his life. And that's probably why he doesn't know how to do anything.
You have 3 children, correct?
Yes.
Was he babied the most of the 3, in your opinion?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Because he's the oldest, right?
Yes.
Which makes sense.
And he's the only boy.
Yeah.
And the favorite.
Not nice.
I'll give you your opportunity for denial here.
Well, I
Whoa.
I don't have a favorite.
Okay, good.
Good answer.
They always
Good
say
answer.
I'm the favorite boy.
Yeah, that's it.
That's fair.
Process of elimination makes sense.
Yes.
If you
But
weren't, that'd be more concerning.
But I will say that my daughters know how to do a lot more things than he did.
So when I was young, I didn't have like a chore list, and I wasn't asked to do a whole lot. Probably.
Are you an only child?
No, I have a younger sister.
Oh, I knew that.
I wasn't asked to do a lot, but when it came time for me to live on my own, I just sort of figured it out from there. And maybe I figured it out in a similar timeline to you, but you've been away from your parents now for what is this, the fifth year?
5th year.
Yeah, I was definitely pretty good to go by like 2, 3, but I guess there's dorms involved.
You got to
Yeah, but I was still
I was
using-
on meal plans for
Yeah,
the 2
that's-
years.
Yeah, but still, like, I was on meal plans my freshman and sophomore year, but I would utilize the kitchen at my dorm.
See there.
I would like have taco nights.
Couldn't even tell you
know,
where it
something
was.
something simple like that.
Couldn't even tell you where the kitchen in my dorm was.
You are
See there. That's the thing I think here is, I think it like an air fryer wasn't a thing I didn't exist when I was that.
no.
age.
You know what? Let's cut to the chase. Mrs. Sommers, does Will need a girlfriend?
Does he need one?
Yeah.
No.
You don't think he needs like a positive? And not saying you're not, but obviously you're not involved in his life every day anymore. Now that he lives in a different state, he lives in a different city, he lives on his own. Don't we think there could be some room for improvement with a positive female influence on the daily?
I think we should talk about it as growth, opportunity for growth here. How are you? How old are you? 22.
Coming up on 23.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of time for growth yet. We're more advanced. It's just he's going to get put through a little ringer a little faster.
Okay. When's the last time you used the vacuum?
Do you own one?
I gave him one. I know.
Thank you.
I believe I've used it within the past month.
When's the last time you dusted the apartment?
Never.
Okay.
Have not yet.
When's the last time you washed your bed sheets?
Month ago, maybe a little over.
Prior to you moving into the apartment, yes or no?
No, I actually did it right after I moved in.
Have you ever cleaned a shower?
Yes, I did that the other day.
Wow.
Good for you.
That's one thing I've been consistent with is cleaning my bathroom.
Yes.
Okay, good for you. That's
smart
good.
move.
That's something I still struggle with.
Here's one thing all men also struggle with. Do you have a garbage can in your bathroom?
No,
Get one.
Get one.
I've been meaning to.
Life changer.
Yes.
Okay, this is good.
And any women you have over will immediately look at that and say, get one, figure it out.
I appreciate the term growth because, Will, we're doing this because we love you. This is coming.
Is this an intervention?
It kind of has become one, I think, a little bit. But no, we're proud of you. We love you. We just want to see you succeed.
I just want you to continue to bring us through every step, even if I laugh at you.
That's what I do it for.
Yeah, because it is entertaining.
It is a great source of entertainment.
I do see a lot of myself in it also. But I started to question everything yesterday with the baking sheet mishap and the...
I've never used an oven was quite a startling texter. So.
Yeah. That one started to make me think, like, does he, like, have someone tie his shoes and then he just keeps them tied? I was having to question everything.
We need to wrap this up because we need to get to a couple other things. But I just want to get to a few comments, and then we will bid adieu, at least on the microphone, to Mrs. Sommers. Chef Ed has chimed in, Will. He said, I offer my cooking services and tutoring to Will, if you're interested.
If there's any meal preparation involved, I'm interested.
Colby has followed up on a question because your mom geniusly asked the question of putting bacon in the microwave. Do you cook your eggs in the microwave?
No,
Okay,
I
good.
use the stovetop.
Okay.
I'm good with eggs. That's my thing.
Good.
Eggs and popcorn. And hot chocolate.
That's my thing.
You mean...
That's my mom. I can make a mean batch popcorn.
And are we saying you're cooking it on the stovetop?
Or are we talking like bagged popcorn?
Microwave bagged popcorn. But I know how long.
What's impressive about that? You put it in for 2.5 minutes.
I know how long. No.
Most
It depends on the
places have
brand.
a popcorn button.
I have my time down to a science. Sometimes it's like 2:44, 2:33. You also have to mush up the bag a little bit before you put it in there.
Yes, Will. We understand.
Mrs. Sommers, this is your opportunity. Any final words as we just, I don't know, maybe humiliated your son and maybe even you. I apologize.
I just have one last comment.
Yes.
I heard on the show recently that Will didn't know what a hemorrhoid was. And I just think how lucky for someone to not know what a hemorrhoid
It's
is.
a privilege.
Yeah, that is a privilege.
So happy for him.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Couldn't do much better than that. Mrs. Summers, thank you for your time. That was
Thank you for having me.
that was worth every moment.
Yeah.
It's worth every moment. So here's a text message I just received. But I'm just going to complain about life for a moment. You don't need to listen. My closet broke earlier this week. I think I told you about that. Saturday or Sunday.
When you say closet broke,
So where I hang my clothes, the shelving,
Yes.
it fell over. We couldn't open our closet, right? So we had maintenance come fix it.
yes.
The maintenance man came and just put one screw in the wall, and said he fixed it. We just heard from the rental company. I hung 3 jackets on the shelf and it collapsed last night. And they just followed up again and said the maintenance man hung his body weight from it and said it was fine. I put 3 jackets on it, it collapsed. So I think I'm gonna have to fix this myself, and I'm not thrilled about that.
Maybe him hanging his body weight on it is what made it so weak.
No, it was just broken. He put one screw in the wall. All right, neither here nor there. All right, let's get to our NFL picks. Week 5 the Packers are on bye. So we are going to do a divisional game. It's Vikings-Browns, obviously a team the Packers lost to, a team the Packers will play twice later in the year. This game is in London, the second game in a row for the Vikings overseas. Now, they're a little bit shredded injury-wise. Obviously, J.J. McCarthy out again this week. But now the line has been taken down, so I don't know why that is. But it was 3.5 the Vikings were favored by, correct?
Correct.
But I do not see it on ESPN Bet, at least right now. So Vikings-Brown is going to replace our Packers pick this week. So you're not picking it against the spread. You're just picking a winner in this one. Will, we'll start with you.
Yeah, so I took the Browns, and I'm also reporting for Hunter, who also took the Browns.
I was on the Browns, and now I'm starting to second guess myself. Yeah. I picked the Browns on Weekly Wager, but I think I just have to stay there.
I think Dylan Gabriel's going to turn things around for them.
So we've got 3 Browns picks?
Yeah.
That's where I was going to go.
I'm weirdly in on the Browns.
I almost think I need to flip it now.
I don't want to be on a graphic where all 4 of us have Browns.
All right, give me the Vikings. I'll take one for the team there. All right, underdog picks. You do have Hunter's pick, you said, Will?
Yeah, me and Hunter actually are in lockstep completely this week, as we both had the Giants as our underdog as well against the Saints on the road. Riding the momentum from Jackson Dart. Saints are stinky.
So that is another line. There's 2 lines missing on ESPN.com. It is those two games.
+1.5 Giants for the Giants.
Got it.
So you guys haven't had the best success with your underdogs, and you guys always try and find these lines where they bait you into betting on the worst team.
We all have the same record, so I don't know if you're in any position to.
Tell him, Will. Let's go. Let's go, Will.
We're all tied for first, so.
You guys keep getting suckered into this. I mean, it's the Giants and Saints, so literally anything can happen. I thought Jackson Dart looked good, but who knows what that looks like in week 2. Spencer Rattler versus Jackson Dart, not a game I'm looking forward to. There's not a lot of good options, not that really stick out to me. I'm thinking potentially of targeting, again, the Eagles, who I think are primed for a loss here. I think they've looked kind of disjointed at times. I think the thing they need to do and pass the ball is what the Broncos defend the best, and they're also a pretty damn good run defense. And Saquon Barkley has been rather pedestrian to this point. It was either that or the Ravens over the Texans, who I think Cooper Rush is capable of beating the Texans. Because did you see CJ Stroud's comments?
Yeah.
I realized I'm not as athletic as I used to be. He's 23, and he was referring to when he was 18.
24. Today. Today is his birthday.
Happy birthday to him. But I am going to take the Denver Broncos to upset on the road the Philadelphia Eagles.
Ooh, spicy. That's fun.
Bad pick.
No, I think that I actually don't hate that. I'm in on like every team in the AFC West.
Of course you are.
Well, I mean, we said this before the season too. I picked the Chargers to win the division. I thought they would have 3 playoff teams. I'm a fan of the Broncos after watching what they did to the Bengals on Monday night. I like that pick for you. I wasn't going to be that bold, but I respect it.
Got to be bold.
Yeah, you do. So, no Bucky Irving.
Correct.
No Mike Evans.
Correct.
No Chris Godwin.
Incorrect.
Oh, he's back now?
He played last week.
No, I missed that.
Ball watcher.
Yep.
Yeah, you know me. Baker's fine, right?
He hasn't been as good as last year.
I understand that, but he's healthy?
Yes.
He's winning.
I like the Seahawks, so I don't hate where you're going.
I'm going to take the Buccaneers over the Seahawks. Seahawks are 4.5-point favorites in this one. It's in Seattle, so obviously it's a cross-country trip for Tampa Bay. But even with all those pieces missing, I can't buy the Seahawks. And I know you just said you like them, and obviously they're off to a convincing start. They're 3-1 on the year. But seeing the way that Tampa Bay has played teams like Philadelphia, and I know, again, everybody was healthy, and Bucky had a huge week last week, I like them this week. Give me Tampa as the upset.
I just thought back to Will saying we have the same record. When his required to have the same record, a call on a field goal in which the guy pushed the guy down to win it. Then they got to try it again, and he ended up winning that game. And mine required 2 blocked kicks and, what was it, 19-point comeback?
Yes.
And I had a blocked field goal last week to hit mine. So I've been getting lucky a little bit.
So I just thought about that a little bit. Like, I feel like I've been better than that. And
Too bad luck doesn't factor into the records.
you're absolutely right.
All right, there's our week 4 picks, or week 5 picks, rather, as
Who
the
is
Packers on bye
Hunter's
week.
under? Is you
We
guys on
both
the
have
same
the
one?
Giants.
Will's just copy and pasting another person's homework, is my understanding.
I had my picks into the graphic first, and then Hunter texted me.
It's just like he copy and pasted his roommate's ability to use the oven.
That was a low blow.
It wasn't really that good either. You're better than that.
Nah.
I don't know if he is. You ever used a grill before?
Oh, yeah. Grills are my jam.
So is microwavable bacon.
So now-
I don't know.
Now we're getting into territory of you're becoming like Strouf, where
You're good at everything.
How many times do you think you've grilled?
Dozens.
Okay.
Last year at my apartment, we had a grill and an air fryer, so that was how I made a majority of my chicken. So this is where I'm at. Like,
in lieu of the oven, it was a lot of grilling, I imagine.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
that adds up.
uh-huh.
That adds up.
Yeah.
All right, some final thoughts on Cubs and
Propane
Brewers.
or charcoal?
It's probably gas if it's at an
Gas.
apartment complex.
Could you get a charcoal?
I've tried at a tailgate before. Someone tried to let me man it, and I ruined a couple burgers for everybody.
Never fails to provide. A couple final thoughts ahead of, I almost said Bears Packers. Cubs Brewers game 1. 1:08 start tomorrow. Freddy Peralta, as mentioned, will be the Game 1 starter. We assume we will see Quinn Priester Monday night in Game 2, and then we'll see what happens Game 3. It kind of depends on the roster, which has not been released yet. But a 1:08 start for the Brewers and the Cubs tomorrow. Look, I got the Brewers in 3. I think it's sweet. Am I just being too optimistic?
You should sweep.
Yeah, I think they win in 3. That's what I said. Yeah.
Okay, so you got to take the Strouf over enthusiasm counter here.
Move the 1.
Yeah,
carry the 1.
I got
Brewers in 4.
I got them winning 4. I think the Cubs win their first game at home.
I think this goes 5. I'm going to pick the Brewers. I believe in the Brewers.
You're nervous.
Yeah.
He's been saying that.
I know he has.
This is no shot.
I know he is.
It's been the basis of all of his Brewers takes.
The Cubs are the 4th or 5th best team in all of baseball. Yeah. It's not like some jokes showing up here. We had like an incredible upset in the first round of the
I'm
wild
just
card.
ridiculously all in on this team, and I think I've lost my objectivity, rather.
Yeah, as I say, you are Mr. Subject.
That's true.
Real wordsmith.
Yeah, I mean,
Seriously.
this is and not saying it's a bad thing, but this is why you end up in spots where you have trouble sleeping after a game, because right now the thought of the Brewers losing is really something you can't comprehend.
No, not yet.
And I'm not even saying losing the series, losing a game.
In this series.
Yeah, you're like,
No, in the CS, I'll pick them to lose a game or 2. Yeah,
See?
that probably goes 6.
see, and I'm more of it's probably going to be a pretty tight one.
Yeah.
Those are two teams, very good, very familiar with one another.
All right, time now for what we missed and what we learned, which is presented by Door County Distillery, locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits made locally in Door County, just north of Sturgeon Bay in Carlsville. It is connected to Door Peninsula Winery. If you're up there, do the tours, do the tastings, check it out on this beautiful fall weekend. Otherwise, bring Door County to you, whatever you got going on. You're watching the ball games this weekend, want to mix up some old fashions, you can get either the cherry brandy from Door County Distillery or my personal favorite, their bourbon. They also have the award-winning single malt whiskey.
Bourbon season.
It's bourbon season, baby. The weather hasn't gotten cold enough, though, because like I like bourbon when it's cold outside.
Totally understandable. It's a classic Christmas drink, a little post-dinner. Put it in a glass with a cube.
It's bourbon season.
Yeah, it's been hot.
You can tell it's Friday because Joshy's ready to have one.
I felt like I was there with him having one right there.
Find the retailer nearest you from Door County Distillery at doorcountydistillery.com. Go ahead,
That
Joshy.
just means we can extend our cherry vodka intake
That's true.
just a little bit longer. Have ourselves a nice drink on the course,
A little lemonade.
on a little patio.
Have a little lemonade in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. All right. Let's start with Will. What'd you miss today?
Yeah, we got the word pejorative today. Good one by Joshy. What, is that known to everybody?
Mrs. Sommers, do you know the word pejorative?
Never heard it.
Wow.
See?
I like how he didn't ask me because he knew the answer was no. I also don't know this one.
It means expressing contempt or disapproval, which is very fitting for today because today's Mr. Irrelevant was filled with pejoratives about my life skills.
Did that work? Can you pluralize it like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least I got one win.
About your life work, did you say?
Life skills.
Life skills.
Yeah, well, that too. Yeah, all the above.
Got one in today. One win.
One win.
Yeah, I got the sentence right.
Oh, gotcha.
After the intervention, did you miss that?
If the word ends up in the segment, I don't think you can call it a win. You Google it.
Yeah, but you know I've struggled with this in the past.
How often, when I'm talking not on this program, do I say something and you guys just nod along and just don't want to ask what it means?
Frequently.
Often.
Frequently, yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, often. Yeah.
Very often.
Several times a day.
Okay.
You're a big word guy.
Yeah, it's just how I communicate. So
No, it's not how you communicate. It's how you flex your brain muscles. I don't know if brain has muscles. Well, just ignore that one and keep going. Go ahead.
But what I was saying from like a professional sense, I imagine I speak the same way in like a meeting, and unless I'm stopped, people just go.
But yeah, you're viewed as a professional in that setting. Nobody's going to stop you in a professional setting. In this setting, we don't view you as a professional. We view you as a Richard.
Another jokester amongst a bunch of them.
Lineup for the DS tomorrow. Yankees at Blue Jays. Should be a fun series. Dodgers at Phillies also should be a fun series. Hope that one goes 7, no matter the result. Or 5, rather.
Mm-hmm. I hope everyone plays 7 games.
Me too, in a 5-game series, yeah. And then Tigers at Mariners is the nightcap, which I have trouble thinking anybody in the AL's beating the Mariners. I'm all in on them.
Yeah, they're a fun team.
They are. Big Dumper. Also
they're
a fun
also
nickname.
the type of team like the Brewers that makes you want to root for them if they're not a direct rival.
Yeah, I mean, Blue Jays Brewers or Mariners Brewers would be fun.
Yeah.
Even Tigers Brewers would be fun. I just don't think they're getting past the Mariners.
Yes. I tell you what, I do not want to see Scooble.
No.
Big Hoss.
No,
He's scary.
That's an automatic win.
He's the boogeyman.
What he did against the Guardians was unbelievable.
Yeah.
He went 7 2/3 with, I think it was 14 strikeouts.
Yep. Just his stature, too, on the mound is terrifying.
He looks
before he even throws a pitch.
off.
No.
Yeah.
All right. I miss anything else? We good?
Think we're good. Go Brewers.
Going to anywhere this weekend?
Am I going anywhere?
Hey, day drinking tomorrow or what?
No, I don't think so. Mussolini's out of town,
Oh.
but I think I'm just going to spend that doing household chores.
Which entails what exactly, Joshy?
Mowing the lawn,
Okay, Will doesn't have to worry about that.
weed
Boring.
whacking.
Doesn't have to worry about
I'm
that.
going to vacuum.
Boring.
Well,
I'm going to clean the bathroom.
Boring.
Probably going to wash the sheets and have those done for when she comes back.
Super boring.
And there's going to be a break in there in the middle to watch the Milwaukee Brewers.
That I can get on board with.
very good. Will, you're going to crush some beers this week.
Yeah, I do actually have some friends from Illinois coming up.
All right, that will do it for us today. We'll be
was
back.
mean.
I know. Be back with you Monday beginning at 12:30 Central. ESPN
I hope
Milwaukee,
you have
ESPN
fun,
Madison
too.
on YouTube.
With your friends.
I also hope you have fun with your friends.
Are they Cubs fans?
I don't know. I was going to get to that, but Strouf cut me off. Guess we'll never know.
We'll find out on Monday, maybe.
Maybe we will. Talk to you Monday beginning at 12:30. Peace.